Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tour Pro Talks. It's great to be here today with you all. Welcome to the audience, and welcome to our very special guest today, Stefan Pettersson. Hello, Stefan.
Hello, nice to be here. Thank you for welcoming me so good.
Oh, it's great to have you with us. But first of all, I need to introduce you. So, Stefan is a brand strategist, an agile project manager, and a sustainable destination management expert who helps destinations, companies, and individuals to develop their sustainable tourism businesses and strategies. Bit of a tongue-tied moment there. And I'm Genevieve. If you don't already know me, I'm a travel tourism copywriter and coach. Stefan is a sustainable expert, as I've already said, and we're here today to talk about sustainability and more specifically, how small and medium-sized tourism enterprises can make their businesses more sustainable. And I know Stefan's got lots of amazing tips to share with us.
Mhm.
And first of all, though, Stefan, I'd like to ask you a question about this word sustainability because it gets bandied around an awful lot. What does sustainability actually mean?
Well, first of all, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's difficult to call yourself an expert when it comes to sustainability because sustainability is actually evolving, is changing all the time. So it's going to be like in 1 year from now, it's going to be a different kind of platform or you can say a game board or something like that. Yeah. But yeah. Sustainability. If you can be nice, if you think you are nice to the environment, to people, to the society around you and everything, then you are on a good step towards sustainability. Because sustainability is to create a balance. And that means if you are nice to other people, if you're nice to the environment, then you probably are more sustainable than if you're not that nice. Okay, so that is really important to remember. And we are actually conducting a lot of like projects helping companies, helping destinations to become more sustainable, because 100% sustainable, it's absolutely impossible. Okay. But the first thing, as if you're a small entrepreneur or if you are like an SME within the tourism industry, you can stop using the word sustainability. It's better to actually tell your clients and everybody who you are in contact with what you're doing. So, for example, if you have changed and take away all plastics or something, you tell that we have taken away our plastics, because suddenly when you start to say, so we are sustainable, then other voices are going to come. Oh, you are not sustainable because you are using that and this and what. So it's better to actually act, to do things and tell people I'm doing this. And then it's up to the people who are listening to this to actually say, yeah, that was a kind of a good thing. So that is, yeah.
That makes so much sense. And as a copywriter, I am delighted to hear that because, words like sustainability, I mean, just to think of another example off the top of my head, luxury, are bandied around so much, they lose really any meaning. So it's so much better to show why you are the word you're saying you are by giving specific actions. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I like your idea about boiling everything down, the sustainability idea down to just being, with the starting point of being nice and kind and taking it from there. Okay, let's move on to another question. Before we get maybe more into the nitty-gritty of sustainability and sustainable actions, just a quick question about how you got to where you are in terms of sustainability and your career journey. How did that happen?
Yeah, okay, this is the moment of truth. I have a cat somewhere here. Yeah. Sorry. She wants to be part. Okay. I started at the opposite. I was like working with. I've been working within the travel industry over like almost 4 decades now. Okay, but and in the beginning it was absolutely the opposite. I was not thinking sustainability at all. I tried to create pub crawls. I wanted 800 people walking from pub to pub on Ibiza or Benidorm or everywhere. So I can't say that I was born like sustainable. Okay, that is the first. But after a while, when I worked, I also recognized the damage. It became wrong in kind of a moral way. Maybe I got more grown up. I don't know. But I also met my partner Daniela, and she was kind of good at this. Okay, so we started to think, okay, how can we do this? How can we create packages? How can we help other people to understand how they can do business as usual, but develop it and start to do it more sustainable? And then I became quite good at it. So we were in contact with a lot of networks. We were starting with projects to work with sustainability, and it became more and more fun and more difficult, because I mean sustainability is like, yeah, it's a huge range. Yeah. So I started in a very bad way. But I became better and better, and now I think, I know a lot of things, and I also made some mistakes as well, and still do. So yeah, we learn as we are going.
Oh, how nice to hear. That's a real story of transformation.
Yeah.
And yeah, interesting, really interesting. Okay, now let's get on to, I think, probably what's going to be the meat and bones of this discussion, which is talking about some of the challenges that small and medium-sized tourism enterprises might face when trying to make their businesses more sustainable. Could you maybe talk about some of these challenges, Stefan? And sorry, just a quick, before we go on to that, any of you guys want to ask questions or make comments, please do. I'm sure Stefan would love to be able to answer some questions at some point in this as well. But
Yeah, it would be fantastic with some questions. Challenges, yeah, of course. Everybody says sustainability is very expensive. So that means it costs a lot. And why should I change my business? I try to earn money on it, because most of the people who work in the travel industry, if you're a small or medium-sized enterprise, you build the company with passion. It's like a lifestyle project. So that means that there's not so much money as well. So okay, so we have to start with that. If you look at your own business model, there are a lot of things you can actually do that can save money, and also you can earn money on it. Because if you start, for example, to look at what you are giving away from your business, if you start to create like digital things, digital tickets, papers, plans, brochures, instead of creating paper versions, then you already start to save money, but you also do a great thing for the environment. So try to become as digital as possible. That is the first step you can do, and you save money on that. But when we are going to the great travel fairs for example, London is coming up now, and Madrid and everywhere, imagine how much stuff people are just giving out in papers and in like bags or hats or everything like that. Okay, imagine how much money you can actually save if you start to think about this. Using QR codes for menus if you have a restaurant or cafe, or if you are do a guiding tours or something, you can also use digital things. So that is one way. And when it comes to if you have staff, there was one event in Gothenburg just a week ago that they went out. It's called the Way Out West. It's like 4 days to 1 week with music, entertainment, and different bands. But they were using only second-hand T-shirts for all staff and volunteers. So they reprinted second-hand clothing for the staffs. So maybe that is also something you can think about when you have a company and an enterprise. You can think about what can we use that is second-hand instead of buying things. And then you can do this in 2 ways, I think. Like you get a second-hand T-shirt, you do a print on it, but you can also buy it from an organization like the Red Cross or other organizations that actually sell second-hand clothing, and the money goes to something good. So then you can create something with that. And you can keep on doing this with a whole business model. And is there any question maybe? I don't know. Yeah. No?
I'm just listening to you and thinking, yeah, it'd be really a case of sitting down and just looking quite holistically at your business and just all the different aspects of it, and really, thinking out of the box, I suppose, a little bit, coming up with ideas. Because I mean, that idea about the T-shirts is a good one that might not have occurred to everybody. And likewise, the QR codes, maybe not everybody's quite there with QR codes yet. So yeah, a case of just really looking and thinking and applying it to every single aspect of your business is would be great. Yeah, interesting. And then I suppose as well, then you can also share this good practice that you've done as well, let people know you've done it, and then other people can get ideas and do something similar in their business as well. So you're creating a kind of virtuous circle.
Yeah, and when it comes to circles, this is a really good tip, I think, for all businesses. That is, on the geographic site that you operate, if you can draw an imaginary, of course, circle, for example, like 40 kilometers or something. If you are a hotel, you draw this 40 kilometers circle and try to prioritize producers, also looking for staff, buying things within that circle. So you try to be part of the community, try to bring business to a lot of more people than just for you. That is a really great way to start building this more. It's more like a social sustainability, but it's also, of course, for the environment, because you get less transportations. You can create a good communication with producers, farmers, or marketplaces, or other. Just to talk about how can we do this even better. We want to have this. We can put some small tags on the breakfast, or we can so we see that the eggs are from this local farmer, and you can visit it if you talk with us in the reception. You start to create business that is like a chain of different services.
Yeah, because that's a really great point, because sustainability doesn't exist in a vacuum, does it? It should be a communal enterprise. Right. I was thinking there's nobody watching us because there's no comments showing up on the screen, but actually there's lots of people. I've just noticed on my phone. So I'm going to say hello to some people. Sorry, I don't seem to be able to display your comments at the moment, but I would love to welcome you all. We've got Max Dubravko-Fiatsko. Hi, Max. He says, great guest and very interesting subject. Hello, Max. Sorry, I can't display your comment there, but it's lovely to have you with us. Max has been a guest on Tour Pro Talks before, so it's lovely to see you, Max. We've got Yolanda from Petra, and Yolanda says almost all the furniture in her B&B is secondhand. So
great! That's good. Yeah, that is also something. There's also one thing that we actually see when we start with projects, talking with people about sustainability, is when we start to look at the business model. There's a lot of good things done already. So, because if you just say, "Oh, we have to be sustainable," boom, it gets really big and a big shoe to bite, And when you start to look at it, oh, we already do this and we do that and we do that, but we haven't talked about it. And that is one other thing: communicate what you're doing, because that is great marketing as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. So celebrate what you're doing, by all means. And then you can also, look at some of the things that still need to be changed. But probably a lot of people will find already that they are taking important steps, and they just haven't really taken account of that. Okay, so more comments coming up on my phone, sorry, rather than on StreamYard. We've got Brigitta from Munich. Hello, Brigitta. And Ismail from Morocco. So people from all over the world watching. Welcome to all of you, and thank you so much for being here. And I'm sorry the comments aren't coming up here, but do please comment, ask questions anyway, and I'll check my phone regularly, and then we can ask Stefan the questions. So it's lovely to know you're all here. Going back to talking about small and medium enterprises, Stefan. So there may be some challenges, which I asked about in the last question, but possibly there are some unique opportunities as well when it comes to being a smaller business. I wonder if you could maybe talk about some of these, the opportunities that smaller businesses have over their the big businesses.
Yeah, it is. First of all, I love small businesses, because it's kind of you are like a fast-moving entity. So if you need to change something, it's easier and faster as you're small. You're more like a guerrilla group. You can change your strategies depending on how the market swings. If you're a bigger chain or bigger enterprise, it takes some time, because the business model is so complex. So you need to change a lot. And what we can see in first of all in Europe right now, it is actually a new law that says that bigger organizations and bigger companies need to report their effect on the environment. Okay. That doesn't mean that we as small businesses can actually skip it, because maybe we are provider of services. Maybe we are provider of products. That means we also need to look at our value chain. Who is producing it? Who is delivering it? How do we package it and sell it to someone else? So that is, in a close and near future, is going to be a demand on us as well to think about this, the whole value chain. And what is the positive things were being small or middle-sized? It is, of course, that you can do it much faster. If you start a company, if you're a startup now, that is actually even better, because now you can think about how to become more in balance in the whole business model. And so I believe there are money to be saved, because you can use less of things. You can actually ban all things that you only use once. And you can start to create packages by talking to communities where you want to operate and involve them, so it's less disturbing for the people who actually live at the place, and they can be part of it. So the economic leakage from those places are less. You are actually helping a community to become better, and also welcome tourists in another way, welcome visitors in another way than that we have been seeing, for example, in Barcelona or other places that is really, really crowded. So as a small business, I think there is opportunities, absolutely.
Yeah, so much more agile, so much freer to kind of react and make changes. Like comparing a little rowing boat to like a huge big cruise liner, it's really hard to turn and change direction. But
Yeah, that's right.
easily turn around. Okay, great. Oh, we've got a comment from Martin Rosenberg. Hello, Martin, who's watching from Turkey. And he says, for me, the most interesting thing in sustainability is making small differences rather than making giant leaps.
Yeah, that's great. It's hard to make a giant leap because you don't know where to land with a leap, you know? It's like, whoa, I should have done it. So it's better, small steps, all the time, small steps. And one small step you can take if you are if you're a travel agency or if you're a guide, you create packages, or your hotel or restaurant, start making the first automatic choice for people is a more green or vegan food.
Mm.
Because if you let people by default it's a vegan dish and they need to untick and tick in the meat, it's been proven that the people actually try vegan a lot more. And if you go vegan, I mean, there is actually the meat industry is like 15% of the pollution in the climate right now. So it's better to do that. So there is small steps you can take, but you have to look at your business model and think, this one, is that good for the environment? Is it good for the community? Is it, yeah. And then you start to small adapt to it. I believe it's possible. And it doesn't have to be too expensive.
That's a really interesting suggestion, actually, with the vegan option, making the sustainability option almost like your default, so that people have to make customers then have to make a very conscious decision that they want something different. Yeah, that's really good. Okay, let's talk a little bit now about something specific, Stefan. Can you maybe talk about like a specific project that you've managed where you've helped a small or medium-sized tourism enterprise to become more sustainable, and what specific steps did you help them to take, and what were the results for them?
Yeah, as an example, I would actually talk about the destination and then break it down a little, okay?
Cool.
Because we were helping. There was one city in Sweden called Södertälje, and they were like, they didn't have a clear strategy when it came to events like festivals or big congresses or anything. They were like shooting really wild, we can say, because and money poured out because of this, because they didn't know which to support and which not. What we did was that we actually invited small businesses, middle-sized businesses, organizations, and it was like ice hockey clubs and football clubs, and everyone invited to tell their story, to actually look at the place brand and see what is the best for this city. What is, if we have an event, which kind of event actually show our spirit and our brand as best as possible. And we created a strategy where it was like different levels, we can say, in the strategy. It was like, if this event creates something for the people who live in the city and for people who visit it, that was more, you can say, points. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Great.
if it was only during one day or 2 days, that meant that hotels could actually have some people staying at a hotel as well. That was more points than just a day. And it creates like 8 kind of steps. And if you got really great points in all those 8 steps, then the city said, okay, here are the keys to our city. We want to help and support. And if there were less, maybe there were some other who could be interested in it. This small music festival could actually go to a venue that had the possibilities for it, but that was not the whole city doing it. And in that way, they could plan the economics, because it's tax money. So they can plan where to support and how to do it. And after that, of course, all companies were invited again redesign the strategy, to talk about it, to create it, so they can actually gain from it together with the destination, to actually create different kind of activities and events. I think it's a great example how you can work together with the community.
Brilliant. Yeah, just taking everybody's needs and what the most people will get out of it.
Yeah.
That's a brilliant example. Yeah, and really something that you could apply to absolutely any place, and
Yeah,
it would work
absolutely.
really well.
And I think, yeah, is it Ghana? I see. Hello from Ghana, it says. Yeah.
Hello, Gavendra. For some reason, Gavendra, your comment's the only one that's shown up so far. So very strange things happening today on this streaming
Good
platform.
marketing for Gavendra.
Welcome, Gavendra. It's great to have you with us. Let's have a little look. Oh yes, I think this is an important question that we haven't spoken about yet, although you've maybe touched on it a little bit, and that's the cost of sustainability. Now, you've mentioned lots of possibilities and ways in which being more sustainable can help you to save money. But some businesses might be a little bit concerned about how sustainability might cost them money. What would you say to a business?
I understand the question. If you look at it, if you look like a time frame for transform your business from business as usual on to a more sustainable, there are of course something that costs, and initially it costs. For example, if you stop with the plastic or paper plates, and you want to use more ceramic dishes and everything, you need to buy something so you can actually wash it, and to create it, you need to change. So what you need is to actually initially probably you need to invest in it, and you need to talk to if there are some stakeholders or there is banks or something. You have to explain why you want to do this. What is the goal for it? So that could be costs. But I mean, in small changes, that doesn't have to cost so much. I mean, if you, for example, create and produce less food if you're in a restaurant or a hotel, so you don't throw so much away, that means that you can have less for buying things, so you save money on that. And the money you save, you can use to invest in, for example, new plates or something like that. Or if you have a waste of something, you look at your circle again and you think, is there anyone that can be helped by it? Is there a farmer who can buy the food waste you have to use it as to create soil, or to give it to animals as food? Or so you can start to plan ahead. If we can get less waste, that's best, because we save money. But if we still have waste, is there anyone who can use it, who can need it? And they could probably even buy it from you, maybe. And so they save something of doing that. So it costs. Initially it costs, but it gets better and better.
Yeah, it balances out in the long run. I just really like the circle idea on so many levels, because as well as enhancing sustainability and sharing good practice, you're also, creating, it's always good in business, isn't it, to build connections with people. So, for so many reasons, it's a really nice model to follow. Stefan, believe it or not, we're actually running out of time, and I've got so much I still want to ask you. But I'm going to suggest actually that maybe the best thing to do now is to ask you one more question, and then to maybe ask about how people can work with you and get in touch with you. We'll also be doing my usual newsletter next week, coming out on Wednesday, which will have a summary of our discussion, along with how you can work with Stefan. But maybe, Stefan, you could just say a little bit about how can people work with you, because obviously you've got such a good strategic vision and very plain talking, good advice. So I think it would benefit lots of people if they could connect with you.
Yeah, fantastic. If people want to have some help, I tell you, all of you, to draw your circle and start thinking, of course. But if you want to help, if you want us to look at your business model, and for each little part of it, we can always help with some tips how to make the next step. So that we work on remote, but we can also come and have an inspirational speech or something like that on site as well. So we do that because we are from Sweden, but we work in all around the world. And we walk everywhere. We don't ever fly. No, we fly as well. Okay, I understand. Okay. So yeah, we can arrange it. But yeah, so start small, contact us. We can absolutely help to look at your business model. That's what we do. If you want to have some training sessions, we do a lot of those. How to build the business in a more circular economy and within the tourism industry. That's also okay. It's just to get in touch, connect, and we'll see where it ends. That would be fantastic. You're all welcome.
Brilliant. That's a wonderful offer. And is the LinkedIn the best? Is that where you're most likely to hang out, or is there other social media platforms?
Yeah, LinkedIn is great to contact with me, and also our webpage gameng.se is also okay. But first of all, LinkedIn is best, and
okay,
go directly in contact with me is really great.
Lovely. Okay, thanks, Stefan. And last question is just a bit of fun. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go, and who would you go with?
Oh, there are so many places in the world. This is the hardest question you can have. I want to go. Where do I want to go? Oh, I would like to go to. I haven't been to South America. Never.
Okay.
I've been everywhere else, but not there. That would be fantastic.
Any particular country?
No, I can't say in a specific. No. It's like, yeah, I think Peru sounds great. I think Chile is great. But if you go to the middle part of America, there, Costa Rica would be fantastic.
I think you just need to go to South America and travel all over it.
Basically. And in a couple of weeks, we are in Berlin. Okay, because we are talking. We have this tourism innovation night. We are facilitating an event at the hotel there. So that could be great if someone are in Germany and can come to Berlin.
We've got at least one viewer from Germany, Brigitte in Munich, I think she said. So yeah, if you're near Germany or near Berlin, that sounds really great. Okay, well, Stefan, thank you. I feel like there's so much more I'd like to ask you, but you've given us some great suggestions in the time we've had. Thank you so much. Thank you to our wonderful audience. Sorry I wasn't able to see all of your comments on the screen, but I hope I managed to read out everybody who did comment. And yeah, thank you again, Stefan, for sharing your wisdom with us.
Thank you. See you. Bye-bye, and thank you very much, Ginny.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Goodbye, and see you next week.